Don't start again.
I'm just the audience waiting for the show to start.
Oh, God. All right, show starts, and it starts like this.
Here we go now.
Bam, 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 bam. That's not really how the show starts. We're probably going to have to put in some music in post there at the beginning.
Placeholder.
I'm opening it.
No, just leave it dry with me just going for no reason. Leave it dry. Leave it raw. Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can do all of a long rest. Roll initiative, looks like combat has begun. Roll initiative, now it's time to have some fun. Roll initiative.
Welcome back to the second week of Claw and Order Special Cryptids Unit with us at Roll Initiative here. I'm your DM Brian, and we have Ryan playing. Hi. Who are you playing, Ryan?
I'm Lawrence Aberline, a wizard werewolf. Or I guess I'm technically the dogman of Michigan.
A little bit of both. We have Mike playing.
Hey, Mikey Pescatori. Fucking Jersey Devil here.
Excellent. And we have Eric playing.
I am Eric. I am Norman. Just a normal human.
Now I have to do a voice.
I mean, Eric's voice it's more of a cadence.
That's right. I learned that from a Ginny D video on YouTube. You don't have to do an accent, just kind of change the way you talk a little.
Shout out to whoever that guy was. But recap of last week. We did a general exposition introduction to what is a small, privately funded, sneaky, government-esque organization called the Collective, in which our three main characters would call their main source of income. And they are cryptids in charge of investigating other cryptids. Some more obvious cryptids than others, Mike being a Jersey Devil, Lawrence being a man most of the time and then a wolf man sometimes, and Norman being something sneakily in between maybe those two things.
Normal human at your service.
I don't trust him.
That made evident and obvious when Lawrence asked his book, his magical familiar, if you will, his talking book, spell book, to keep an eye.
His name is Winston, not Ulysses.
Winston, not Ulysses.
Don't call him that, please. Just Winston.
Okay.
Just Winston.
Gotcha. Just Winston.
No one uses his full name anymore.
No one.
Winston, not Ulysses. That's his full name.
Damn, jeez. Just goes by Winston. His real friends just call him Winston. But Lawrence at a point in the episode did charge his familiar book Winston with keeping an eye on Norman after maybe more than a few shady things happening around Norman. The crew, all of you were called in to the headquarters of the Collective, and you were brought in to talk to your boss, the director, otherwise known as the Lake Champlain Monster, um, resides in a large underground pool in a very large, sneaky underground facility. You all had not worked together, but you were being assembled on a team that was going to be doing a little bit more of the investigations out of after some loss of personnel on the investigative side. Um, your first mission was presented to you a series of small livestock being abducted and mutilated in a small rural town, Texas, a farming ranching community, and you were to go and investigate. Um, After a short and uneventful plane ride, you landed in Texas, where Lawrence sported himself a very fancy cowboy hat
That's right.
for the occasion. And you proceeded to meet the local sheriff. Let me reference his name because I can erase it after I mention it here for the most part from the history books. You guys met Sheriff Gene Hogg, and he gave you the rundown of what was going on in town. A lot of small livestock gone missing, goats been mutilated, some of them almost drained of all the moisture inside of them. Um, I think I said desiccated, and what was the more appropriate word for it? Insanguinated?
Yes.
Yes.
Exsanguinated?
But, there's some dry, dead goats. If you cut them open, they could not bleed. But after he gave you this information and he told you a little bit about what was going on in town, you'd be going to see the veterinarian at first because she has a bunch of the corpses that she's been looking at for the goats that have gone dead, not missing, but dead. And after he told you that, you guys proceeded to, well, not you guys, but Lawrence and Mikey. Lawrence at first just gave everything basically away to the sheriff, told him the entirety, it, that it was a cryptid of some variety. Like he had jokingly mentioned at first, it could be a demon. Mikey did try to play it off in a way that made you guys seem like yeah, some crazy cryptid hunters. But in the end, Norman made the call to have the team turn around and murdered the first NPC as they communicated with that wasn't your boss.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I did was have a pleasant conversation with this fine gentleman, and he decided to leave for a 2-week vacation afterwards.
That is not what happened for the recap purposes.
That is certainly what the other two party members have been led to believe.
Yes.
Yes, that is what the other two party members have been led to believe, which also is why Lawrence has asked his book to keep an eye on Norman. Norman, now armed with the full knowledge of everything the sheriff knows, took you guys directly to the vet, which is where he was going to take you anyways. But Norman, the sheriff gave you the car and then left
Yeah, he
suddenly.
gave me the car and left on foot to go on vacation.
left on foot to go on vacation. Norman took you guys directly to the vet's office, where the local vet, Dr. Amber Robertson, took you back to the makeshift goat morgue, where you were able to examine the bodies. Mikey was able to look at them and notice a very strong, a faint feeling of demonic energy, something familiar to him, but not something that he couldn't quite place. It was deemed, it was like something kind of close in nature to maybe what Lawrence experiences with his lycanthropy, but not the same. And you guys did an actual investigation of the bodies and saw the tiny, precise bite marks. You saw for yourself actually dry corpses with no blood in them whatsoever, and you also saw the goat pile in the corner, which was a pile of goat corpses that they have yet to clear out. And just as you were about wrapping up, Norman noticed out of the corner of his eye a shape slip from the goat pile and out the back door, and the back door creaked open and creaked shut, and Norman immediately turned into pursuit.
As I do.
All right, I need to do much shorter recaps. Woo! All right, guys, that was it for tonight.
Good session.
This episode was just a recap of the last episode.
The last one was so good. We'll just do it again.
Next time, maybe I can open the door to get out.
Fuck.
You guys can go back to talking about Minecraft.
No, I'm glad you did that though, because I remembered everything, but then the last part where the dude or the thing ran out the pile, I forgot about that. So
It was the very last 5 seconds of the podcast. So I will forgive you for not remembering the last podcast. Yep.
So I basically just needed that last 5 seconds.
On the last 5 seconds opens us up to where we are now. You guys have popped out the back door of the veterinary office, and it opens up to a desert plateau kind of into the backyard, back into the backside of this facility. It doesn't really have a backyard per se, 'cause it's more of a business, but it does open up to what you would see is just some slightly rising
a mesa.
Yes, a mesa. Thank you, Ryan's going to be very helpful for this. A mesa, plateaus slowly rising up, and there's a slight fence run down behind you guys. We're gonna do. I know there's a map up there for you guys to see, but obviously for our listeners, we don't have a map. So there is stuff in the map that is just I'm not even referencing. I know there's big bones on the map or whatever.
There's a huge spoiler for my character just sitting right there in my token.
Yeah, don't worry about any of those things. Don't look at the man behind the mirror. The map's really just there for you guys to be able to reference the fact that there is, as you pop out, what looks to be just a couple of actually live goats, kind of grazing on some just desert shrubbery, some desert brushery, out behind the veterinarian's office, which is strange because mostly you see them dealing with these dead goats, but you just see these kind of 3 goats out here, kind of all bent over with their heads kind of in the brush, not moving a ton, but they're just out here. And you don't really see what ran out. Was it one of these goats? You don't know. These goats look like they're not moving very much, but whatever came flying at the back door seems to be hiding or gone.
Can I attempt to check for tracks?
Yes, absolutely. Give me a investigation check.
That is a 3 on the investigation.
You see the goats.
Them some fine goats.
Can I ritual cast detect magic?
You can, I believe. Rules lawyer. How long does it take to ritual cast something?
It's depends what spell. I think they all have a different ritual cast time, but it's usually 10 minutes.
10 minutes plus their plus whatever it says in the spell, but because I am a order of scribes, I can do it once for the action time, which is 6 seconds.
Ah, yes.
Oh, all right. You're fancy.
Yes, that's my one use of getting to do it for 6 seconds.
All right. So you cast detect magic instantly, as opposed to having to take a whole bunch of time to
10 minutes and
Scratch
6
out.
seconds.
scratch out the room, make a big circle of salt, and howl at the moon. Cast it instantly, and you can just feel an aura. Almost, I feel like maybe you smell it. Like you
It's magic in the air.
smell magic, and it's weird because when you think about it, you didn't really smell the goats when you first noticed them. Like you have been a dog man for almost your entire life, most of your life,
I'd say
And-
at least 100 years.
at least 100 years, and you've been able to suppress your urges, but when there is fresh meat around, it does get your hackles up still even a little bit to this day.
All my hair that I have stands up.
Oh, your hairy arm hair stands up on it.
Some of it poked through my wool jacket.
But you think about it, and you did not smell the goats. You saw the goats, but you didn't smell them. Now that you've cast detect magic, now you've noticed them. Now you smell them, but they smell like a gross magic, something rotten.
Oh, can I roll an Arcana to see if I can tell?
Yes.
Can I
That's
roll?
a 21.
Because goats are kind of,
Yes, goats are kind of your thing.
yeah.
Would you also like to roll an Arcana check?
Yeah.
It can help me, and we can both
Can I
come
roll
up.
a goat check?
To see, I think goats do smell bad. Maybe they are just goats. Yeah, you should probably do that. No.
That's a 6,
I got a
Mikey
6.
boy.
All right. But Lawrence's Arcana residual from him casting detect magic, his roll of 21. While you do notice that they are goats, and you are like, wait, goats? I'm a goat, kind of. I should probably. Why don't I smell the goats? But now I smell the goats, and they're stinky. And then Lawrence is sitting over there, and he's like, all right, so the goats smell rotten. I've never smelled quite this smell before, but they definitely don't smell
Let me pull out my book.
alive.
I wanted to guess maybe some sort of necromancy. Flip over to the section in my book that might have.
So you're flipping open to Winston, not
He's currently not in the book.
oh, he's currently not in the book. That's right. He's following
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, so I don't have to do it. You flip through your book to the section on necromancy, and it less like it says anything to you. It's more like you just kind of get like a feeling, and like the smell that you're smelling like instantly clicks, and you're like, yes, that's what this is. Smell the people. Your book is almost a scratch and sniff at that point. It's like, all right, no, this is it. This is necromancy. That's what that smells like. This is some form of necromancy. And these goats is not okay.
Guys, these goats are not okay. There's some sort of necromancy.
Well,
As you say this, one of the goats just kind of like picks its head up. One of the goats closest to you just picks its head up, and just like the body doesn't turn around, the head just creepily like an owl turns all the way around, except you listen to like the bones pop and crack as the goat turns and looks at you, and just goes. "Arr."
I pick up a rock off the ground and cast Magic Stone, and then throw it at its fucking face.
All right, we're rolling initiative.
Oh god. Are we all rolling initiative?
Yes, everybody's rolling initiative.
I got a 3.
You know me, I'm always trying to take initiative.
Yeah.
And maybe
Chill.
just maybe I will.
All right, so I got
I got a
a
20.
20. We got a 20 for Norman. And I got 3s.
Question is, does that one initiative roll make me go first, or
It would make you go
Yeah,
second.
3, but it's a nat 1-3.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're both
my-
3. Usually it's whoever has the higher initiative. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, whoever has the higher dexterity, and you technically do.
We're gonna say since Mikey has
+2?
rolled a nat 1, he's going
Last.
after you.
Okay.
Get you a goat roll here. Boom. Goats now.
The Zomboats. The Gobies? Do we like Gomboats, or is it straight?
Like gumbos, are we going gobies?
Zomboats?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I
like
can't even
Zomboat.
remember what I said the first time. I think it was Zomboat. The Gomgop? Are we fighting some Gomgops?
Actually, if Zombeaver is something to go off of, then it might be Zomgoat.
The Zomgoat?
All right, so now that I've done the impossible task of ordering numbers between 20 and 1,
You poor
it's
soul.
just like I've been doing what? Fuck, man. Just math, man. It's not even math. It's not math at all. It's just putting things in an order, and it still just takes unnecessarily long amount of time. So Norman, you're still going first. You rolled a 20. You will be going first. Feel free to attack goats with prejudice.
Yeah, so I pick up 3 pebbles off the ground and magically enchant them. And I'm just gonna... I can only throw 1, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw 1. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 is definitely going to hit. The goat has the goat that just turned to you.
Yeah, whatever one lifted its head up and at us first, that's the one that's receiving 9 bludgeoning damage to the face.
Murder that goat.
I murder that goat. I'm on a killing spree. So far, that's 2 out of 3 things we've met I've killed.
2 out of 4.
Yeah, I'm at a 50-50 KDR.
All right, fucking crazy. You just like throw that enchanted stone right through that goat's face. It's already been weakened structurally when it broke its own neck to turn around and do the scary look at you guys and then bat. And when the stone hits it, it just pops the head right off that goat.
Damn zombots.
Oh, damn it. All right, next is one of the other goats. One of the goats that has not broken its neck turns and rushes towards Norman after he's thrown a magic stone through one of the other goats, and he is going to throw.
Hey, I'm the one who throws.
A simple ram at you. I don't think an 8's going to hit you.
Nah, I dodged that.
Yep. It is obviously not the most coordinated of goats. As it gets closer to you, you're like, oh, that goat ain't right.
That goat ain't right.
It's got like a twisted ankle. It's kind of just like dragging itself along as it runs at you, and just kind of like you just sidestep it ever so slightly as it just goes past.
That goat's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The goat ain't right, guys.
We should try to save it.
Don't worry, it's gonna go on a 2-week vacation.
Oh fuck. Alright, so believe it or not, your 2 3s were not enough to beat the other goat either. So that one is going to turn, and as well, instead of charging, seeing how fleet of foot Norman was to their other companion, this one is just going to turn and just jog its way in the direction of Lawrence, seeing him.
Reading my book.
Is going to also throw a ram. Will a 17?
I think a 17 will hit.
A 17 will hit. Roll damage though.
Oh, right, my groin.
Oh, for four bludgeoning damage. It just runs just so slowly. You don't notice it's coming because you are looking and sniffing.
He scratched his last sniff.
And it just very slowly just right into your nuts.
That's actually
Right
a lot of
into your
damage. That's actually a lot of damage to me. So
decent amount of damage at a low level. All right, so you've been headbutted in the nuts by a strange goat, a zombie goat, a zom goat, and it is now your turn. It is just the goat is still just kind of like pressing into you, like lost momentum as it collided with your groin. It's just kind of walking your direction.
I'm gonna put the book away and bring up my cane and try to smack it on its fucking head. 19.
19's going to hit, yeah.
For 5 bludgeoning damage.
You bust this goat like straight down into the ground, like break its back. It's not quite like fully left the mortal coil. It's just laying there. It can't really move at all. It's just at you, and it's still like it looks like it's still just like trying to like its limbs are still kind of like just trying to like move it towards you, even though it can't go anywhere.
Oh my god! I want to pull out my gun. It's actually an action to use. It's actually an action to use it, so I can't kill it.
Enough of this pansy magic stuff. I pull out my gun.
No, I don't have anything else I can do. Is it actually dead?
It's not. It is just clinging to its last point of life, but it is immobilized. It's just pounded into the earth. There, it can't come after you. You done broke the zom goat.
All right. Well, that's all I can do. I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you for yielding the remainder.
Thank you, Chairman.
How many more witnesses you want to call?
No. Not without using
right.
spell slots.
All right. Well. Well, thank the Lord, Mike. Lawrence has yielded the remainder of his time, so it's your turn now. There is a goat that has been just very skillfully done, and there is the goat puddle over by Lawrence.
I feel like I gotta help out Lawrence, and the same way I'm sure he just reached into like, where's your holster actually, Lawrence? Where do you keep the gun?
I keep it. It's a shoulder holster inside underneath my left armpit.
Ah, same.
Hey,
So I reach in, but instead of pulling out a gun, I pull out my pendant.
Back in heat.
Not wearing around my neck like you should a pendant, and also not a gun in my holster like you usually should. Just both things not being used correctly, and I point it forward at one
Do
of
you
the.
do you recreate the trigger motion?
No, I don't. No, not that much of a loser. No, but I pointed at one of the goats that's fucking with Lawrence, and I'm gonna hit him with. I have to remember the name by looking at it. Jets of Philagathos, aka Firebolt. Oh wait,
14 will hit. Jets of Philagathos. Love it.
don't I have? Oh no, not yet. Okay, never mind.
Not yet, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned to when he's got it.
Yo, when we level up, we get all kinds of things.
So yeah, your 14 definitely just smokes the goat that missed Norman. If you want to roll damage, I feel like. Oh no!
Oh my god,
It singes the goat.
1 damage.
1 damage just singes that goat. Much like Norman so skillfully dodged the goat. The goat is the goat learning.
I was just about to say,
It
it's learning!
Hair. It looks
The
back
goat-
like a pissed like cartoon character.
Just so angry. It's just like its tail is just kind of singed and on fire.
Shot him with a Looney Tunes gun?
Damn it! I packed the wrong gun.
What was that, a
The
Roman?
medieval one, not the Looney Tunes one.
What was that? Some kind of Roman candle?
And then I take my fucking, I look at my pendant in my hand, like almost like a gun that's jammed, and I like shake it. I'm like, God damn it.
We are back around the top of the order. Norman, can you give me a perception check?
I was about to say I punched that goat, but we can do this first.
Well, I feel like real quick, I did not allow Mike a chance to yield his time, and I feel bad about that.
I'll take back 30 seconds.
He's gonna fail. Stop him.
I'll just edit this. We'll just edit back if you'd like to yield your time.
I will yield my time.
Excellent, thank
I
you.
will not yield.
So, and we're back. Norman, back to the top of the order. If you could do me a favor and roll a perception check.
That's a 17 there, big guy.
Ooh, all right. A 17. You, out of the corner of your eye, see a shape, a darker shape. It's bigger than a goat, it looks like. It is scurrying way off into the distance. It is far away from you guys now, but you do see it scurry over on top of a mesa and disappear out of view. You notice it is not the body shape of a goat and appeared to almost have like a tail-ish scenario going on, and maybe like more of a bipedal gait to it as it climbed over the edge of the mesa and disappeared out of view. While you notice that as well, you do notice rising up out of two like just thickets of thorns and just absolutely just like bleeding, but still just like are two other goats, both also very weird and strange and obviously undead goats, and they're just like kind of covered in like thorny thicket, like the tumbleweeds almost, but just like spiky ones, and they're just kind of like walking slowly towards you guys as well as that thing disappears out of view.
Oh my.
So you've got two new goats that have entered the fray. You have the singed goat, and there's also the goat that's been absolutely pancaked by Lawrence that can't move or go anywhere and just has that one bit of health left.
All right, that does change things. Guys, I think I saw him go this way. I'm going to throw a stone at one of the goats. Does an 11 hit?
11 does hit. Which goat are you throwing at? Are you throwing at singed goat or one of the new goats?
Let's go for Senji boy.
Singy boy. 7 damage is going to finish off Singy boy. I guess he is just locked eyes with Mikey after Mikey burnt his tail, and in a very, like you said, cartoon way, just like I'm coming for you, but they're not fast, and you just bean him from the side, not paying attention with the stone, and it just absolutely blows out his chest cavity, and he just splits in half.
I turn to Norman and I give him a finger guns. Hey!
I think about it for a minute and I like vaguely recognize that, and I'm just like, yeah, bam, bam, bam. But also,
So-
I'm gonna dart towards the thing that tried to run away.
All right, so you're gonna move. You're gonna have to move past the two thicket goats
Mm.
on your way to him.
In that case, just turn around real quick.
I'm already holding the goat pinned down with the cane, so I'm not really paying attention.
Now you have used your action. What do you got left here?
A bonus action to turn into a dire wolf and then dart past them.
Oh, oh! I don't know why I did the Yahoo thing as a wolf. All right, so you are using a bonus action to. You can't make everybody turn around every time you turn into something.
I know, I was just kidding that time.
In the heat of combat, everything's like a 6-second thing. You're like, you guys need to turn around.
Just turn around. Painful Animorph style, even though it's not painful.
The only
But
problem
you're
with the Animorph style is the Animorph style takes like so long. It's like a minute to like a multiple minute process.
Everyone turn around and give me a minute.
I think he's jerking off.
No,
Instead, check on it.
no, he's just trying to grow a beak real quick.
Is that what the kids call it nowadays?
Growing a beak, yeah, when you Animorph into a hawk. Imagine having to watch somebody's face turn into a beak. Everybody sleep well tonight.
Just look at the front cover of all the books.
Yeah, it's
You'll
terrifying.
eventually get. Yeah, just look at the midway point.
I'd say watch American Werewolf in London. It's pretty close.
Ooh, yeah, it was pretty rough as well.
It's close enough.
All right, so you are turning into a direwolf and rushing past the two.
The two thicket goats and accepting their thought
Two thicket
opportunity
goats.
attacks.
All right, so they're gonna throw you two rammies.
Ooh. Both of those miss my wolfy form.
All right, the 11 and a 4. Both of those are going to they're just like caught up in their thicket tumbleweeds. They're just. I mean, they weren't coordinated without these things, and now they're less coordinated with them. They miss you as you run past them. You can get to like the edge of the plateaus where you have to start to like hop up and start to climb up the mesa, which might be more difficult as a wolf. But I feel like as a dire wolf, you're pretty big, and there's nothing that says in the rules that dire wolves can't participate in rock climbing. Airbud 35. It's just Airbud in a harness being pulled up a mountain.
Like, how steep are we talking?
It's fairly steep. There's some spots where it looks like it would have had to have hopped up and like crawled up and climbed up a little bit, but you'll probably be able to jump up those. It's just going to be athletic checks once you get there.
Yeah, because I can jump, but I don't think wolves can climb. So if this does require climb speed, well, I mean, rules is written, everything can climb with like half speed or whatever. I don't think it doesn't say anywhere in the rule book that a dire wolf can't climb.
So wolves can climb up like rocky stuff, okay, but they can't climb a tree. If that's what you're talking about. But
we're
talking about like a fairly steep rocky.
They could do okay in some of that, but
so we'll say on your next turn, we'll do like an athletics check, and if you do well with your wolf athletics check, you can just use your regular movement to get up. Otherwise, you have to use like half movement to go up the mesa.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'll be the difference between like getting to the top in one turn versus getting to the top in 2 turns, essentially.
Yeah.
That'll be on your next turn. Would you like to yield the rest of your time?
I will not yield. I demand to be forcibly removed from my turn.
All right. Or in that case, as the DM, I forcibly move on to the next turn, which is a goat. The one goat that had attacked Lawrence cannot move. All it can do is bleat.
Oh, I'm sorry, little goat. I'm sorry.
Kill me.
I'm going to.
Waste of.
I now speak animal.
Oh yeah, Mike's right. I should just leave it.
And then the other 2 goats, having had the direwolf just dart past them, having missed him both, just keep their momentum going. One is going to run towards Mikey and throw a ram at him.
Hey.
The other one is going to run towards Lawrence and throw a ram at him. But the one who runs towards Lawrence is going to slip in the goo of the other one that has been smashed in front of him. So it is going to have disadvantage on its ram. So first ram is for Mikey. I feel like a 22 is going to hit you.
Yeah. Just might.
Just might. A little bit early in the. See what kind of damage we get. Three bludgeoning damage. This one scratches your legs up, your shins up, something fierce with the bramble all wrapped around it.
Hey, not the suit! Ow!
Yeah, it's like if you go hiking and you just walk through some sharper grass or some sharper shrubbery. That's what you got going on right now.
This suit wasn't cheap.
And the second ram at disadvantage. Ooh, a 16.
Even with shield, that hits.
Shield, that hits. You're getting rammed again.
God damn.
Oh, that is max ramage right there, I think.
It is.
It is max ramage. 5 damage to you. Between the 2 rams, 9 total damage.
Are you alive?
I'm standing. Almost at half health.
Oh, okay, you're fine.
Oof. This ram as well is just kind of like pushing into you and like slipping in the viscera of the other ram. The other ram has been finished by its ram brethren. Just the sheer weight of the ram just like standing on top of it, kind of like turning its way into you. The Rams yield their time, and it's Lawrence's turn.
All right.
Lawrence
Gonna-
having a rough time with this one.
It's scratching up my legs, my nice suit.
I'm pretty sure, the one thing you can take away from this battle is I'm pretty sure you have like solidified the way we're going to like end our turns for the most part, for at least the rest of this episode, if not the eternity of the podcast.
I hope not.
I doubt it. I doubt we have the attention span for that. How many goats are left?
I yield this concept then.
How many goats are left?
There is just 2 goats left. There's the goat right in front of you, and there's a goat just that is just like skimmed across the front of Mikey and really scratched up his shin. Something good.
All right, the one that's scratching up against me. I guess I'm just going to use my cane against it too. The 7.
The 7 doesn't hit that goat, unfortunately.
Oh,
Doesn't he,
fuck.
like, do you have shocking grasp or?
Oh, fuck! I could have used shocking grasp.
I don't know why you keep swinging with your cane. You're a wizard.
Well,
I let it fly the
it's
first time,
Dude,
but-
he's
It's-
classy.
it's
And
silvered.
bad.
It is silvered at least.
Yeah, he's hitting him with a silver cane. He's disrespecting them.
I mean, it's cool. I'm not here to tell you it's not cool. As a dirty min-maxing, it makes me uncomfortable.
I feel like he's just panicking. He's like, ah, shit, goats! There's zombie goats! I gotta swing at them. What? No, and just like forgetting, like, oh,
It worked the first time.
it did work the first time.
Yeah, it was cool the first time. You just
The
wizard man
alternative,
just smashed his head in.
the alternative is that he turns into a beast and wrecks stuff. So it's like, I might as well just hit with a stick.
Fancy stick.
Fancy. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn, Lawrence?
I don't think so. Yeah, no.
All right, you and the goat still tango. Mikey,
Yeah.
you've got a goat by you as well.
Okay. Well,
Turn.
I'm gonna put away my pendant because it didn't seem to be working properly. And
Just gotta recharge it.
yeah, I'm just gonna go like, well, let me see if these work, and I'm gonna pull out like I guess they're summoned too, friggin' chains out of nowhere that are all flamey with hooks at the end, and I'm gonna swing.
All right, so
15.
you have a 15. 15 hits. Yeah, 15 is gonna hit your goat.
Bop. 15
Fine.
slashing.
5 slashing
I'm
damage.
sorry, 5 slashing.
Your chains basically cut this goat in half. It is just like 2 front hooves, just like kind of like trying to like drag like the back half fell off. Just like dragging the top half of the body at you, kind of still from the ground, bleeding at you.
I'm trying to kick it away.
Give me a quick Arcana check, because this is like I feel like this is the first goat that's been close to you.
Greatest of all time.
19.
A 19. You like look at this goat and you just feel like a dark energy coming off of it, but it feels like it's been like, you know how when you look through like a pane of glass and then like a double pane of glass at fire, and like how it like kind of gets diluted each time, but there's like a reflection of it. So it's almost like that. Like you are seeing a dark energy there, but it's so diluted. But because your connection to dark energy is so strong, you do see it traces further back. You don't know where it goes to, but it does get stronger as it goes further back. But the dark energy of this goat is just like so minuscule. And you also notice with the 19 that this goat's mouth appears like they generally just have like these flat teeth that are meant for just grinding up grain. These teeth like appear to like a few have like fallen out, and they appear to like have almost like started to like round almost like they're like becoming more like rounded canines as opposed to like the flat chewing teeth of a goat like you have seen before on goats, as you have goat knowledge as a goatman.
I do have goat legs.
Goat legs.
You're at least 20% goat.
Gives him knowledge on the teeth.
Hey, I may have looked it up. When you're made of like 3 different fucking creatures, you may look up what they are. So
You're like,
may come up when you go to the doctor.
doctor. The doctor's like, "Do you have any like family predispositions, anything?" You're like, "Well, all right. So goats have this."
Horses, because look at my face. Horses, they get that.
Horses. So you feel there's some kind of dark energy muted from a strong lineage attached to this goat, and you also notice that it has developed like rounded canines as opposed to like flat chewing teeth. You're awfully glad that like it just decided to run past you now, as opposed to like trying to gnaw at you. They wouldn't be. They're not sharp, but they don't look comfortable, especially with how strong a goat's bite is for grounding grain.
All right, I'm gonna unhook my hook chain from it, and then I'm just gonna kick it away because it's creepy.
It just kind of rolls over away a little bit. It's not dead quite still. It's again much similar to Lawrence's smash pancake goat. This goat is just absolutely at the end of its life, but it is just kind of like now laying on its side, trying to get like roll itself back up so it can get like its 2 front hooves down to like drag itself along the ground. But it's just like, and that would bring us back around to the top of the order for Norman the dire wolf.
How?
Dire Wolfman? Dire Warman?
Wolfman.
Yeah, it can't be Dire Wolfman. We already have a Wolfman. But if you would like to, Norman, give me an athletics check as a wolf.
An wolf. Here we go.
We're just so addicted to combining words.
I do love me some portmanteau. I thought I clicked it. Why didn't it do things?
Do the thing.
Did it do it? There we go.
I got a strength check.
That is a
strength
7.
All right, so a 7. Not gonna. You have the ability to make the jumps, but it's not suave looking. You're like jumping up and like getting your like the most of your chest up there, and just kind of doing like the struggle kicky thing that you see like an animal do when it's like just like can't quite make the full jump, and it's just like kind of kicks itself slowly up on the one ledge and then up onto another, and you get yourself about halfway up the mesa.
Can I give a
turn?
sniff?
Can you give a sniff?
I have advantage on Sniffy Boy.
Oh, all right. So yeah, give me a sniff check, which would be a perception, I guess.
Thank God for that advantage.
Thank God for the advantage, because otherwise it would have been a nat 1.
But that is a 14 instead.
With a 14, so you do smell. You as a wolf, as an actual dire wolf right now, your senses are so like attuned. It's even more so than Lawrence as a human with, or as a like a humanoid man creature thing, not in his wolf form. You are now much more in tune with the smells. You smell the dead goats. You smell that they're dead. You smell blood in the air,
Do I smell the
and
creature?
you smell a dankness
Ooh.
that comes along with that blood, almost like a mildew that follows along with that iron in the
Mm-hmm.
blood, and you smell a a stink of like rotten, almost like fermented smell, like a a rotten pickle kind of to it, like a vinegary smell that kind of almost comes along with like just fetid, rotten waste. Essentially, this thing smells like blood and mildew and stink. Just absolute like rot.
All right, I'm gonna lock onto that stank.
If this was a movie, we'd be playing That Smell by Leonard Skinner in the background.
As soon as
As a
we first
mod.
got here and you said smell, I was already doing that song.
Can you smell that smell?
In fact, when Brian goes to listen back to this, he's gonna find that like 10 minutes ago, someone else was talking and I went, "Ooh, that smell."
Dag nabbit.
I'm gonna need you to confirm that for me, Brian.
I will when I do the edit.
when you're listening to me say this to you, then now, I want you to then now tell me.
But when is now?
When will then be now? Soon. Space.
And then in post, I'll just have to figure out if I can find some kind of like how much of ooh that smell I can use.
7 seconds, I believe, is the limit.
Ugh. All right, so that is your turn, Norman. Would you like to yield the rest of your time?
I will yield.
Thank you, sir.
I regret everything I've said tonight.
It's a healthy way to be.
It's a healthy way to live, full of regret. So we have a half a goat left by Mikey that is not going to be able to attack anyone. It is still trying to roll itself back over into a way where it might be able to like if you got it, like you ever seen one of those like real sad pictures of like a tiny dog that doesn't have any back legs and they get a little tiny wheelchair. If you got the goat, that it'd be able to get itself around, but it wouldn't be adorable. It'd be like this little zom goat. So that goat's still around, but not a threat. And the other goat that is near Lawrence, just kind of pushing its head against him still.
My $6,000 suit.
The $6,000 suit. Lawrence had been worked over by goats. It's still going to have disadvantage because it's still slipping and sliding in its friend, but it just can't help but continue to just ram at Lawrence.
Still hits. 15.
14 hits.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my reaction. I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs and make it re-roll its attack dice again.
All right. Still with disadvantage.
All right.
This time a 7. A 7 cannot hit you.
A 7 cannot hit me. I just...
Physically,
Damn you, goat! Damn you, goat!
you had like 6 dexterity, a 7 could hit you.
Just like, damn you, goat. And the goat just like slips a little bit more. It just notices the disappointment in your voice.
I'm imitating my father.
So that concludes goats. Lawrence, it is now your turn.
All right. I really didn't want to burn spell slots, but
I mean, at this point,
At this point, it's still not worth it.
Swing a cane.
Now I will use Shocking Grasp for a 10.
10 just barely hits the goat.
Oh my god, thank you. Oh, whoops.
Now we know what it does.
4 damage.
4 damage. The goat has to make a save.
No, it just doesn't.
No.
Right.
Yeah. I grab it by the throat with my lightning fist and just kill it if it's still if it
This goat hasn't taken any damage, unfortunately. So
damn.
the 4 damage does shock the hell out of the goat. It just drops to the ground and just twitches on the ground. Not quite dead, but just like
We are really torturing these goats.
You guys are doing great.
We just need a little higher damage to kill them instantly.
Yeah, just some of them. The first, both that Norwood attacked were murdered instantly.
I mean, Magic Stone. I should have handed you guys them before I left. You would be attacking with my spell modifier.
So where there's Norman's suit and like a magic stone sitting on the ground next to it, just turned into a wolf and ran away.
Yeah, what happened to the stones?
He just left it on the ground, probably.
I threw 2 out of 3 of them, so I had 1 just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. Do you want it?
I used my action. Can I pick it up?
give me a quick investigation to see if you see where Norman dropped the stone.
That's a 24 investigation.
A 24. You see directly where the stone is.
I'll use.
Actually, within view, you don't even have to really move around to grab it. You just can kind of like bend over and grab it off the ground.
I'll use my mage hand to grab it because it's just out of reach.
Just out of reach. Yeah, Ryan's story now, guys. Mage hand takes the stone over to him.
Rules is written. You actually can't use Mage Hand as a free action. So, because you decided it was out of reach, you actually don't have the.
You've been rules lawyered.
Steinberg and Steinberg, Rules Lawyer Incorporated.
Thanks, Eric. Actually, do I have it?
That's a good question.
We're gonna say yes. It was within reach. You just were going to use the mage hand anyways because you didn't feel like bending over, but you can bend over and pick up the stone.
Thank you. That is the rest of my time.
Excellent. This time is ended. Mikey, it is your turn.
Representative from New Jersey has the floor.
Oh, yes. The backbone of America.
Has everyone been hit yet, or is there any that are untouched?
The goat. The only goat really left that could get back up is the goat that Lawrence just shocked. That one has about 2 health left, and then there's the half a goat. That's really not a threat.
I'm just gonna swing my friggin' Kratos hook chains.
Whoa.
CX
6.
In the most painful way, this fight just can't end.
Now, in their defense, I did run off to go try to get a beat on the thing running from us.
You did run off. Yeah, 6 doesn't do it.
In my defense, I thought they could handle it.
I was gonna use Scorching Ray to start it. It would have killed all of them instantly.
Sure, I'm sure it would.
I should have just did the goddamn.
What's that? You get rammed in the nuts.
I have magic missile.
All right. Well, unfortunately, the 6 does not hit. We're back around to the top of the order. Norman, give me another athletics check.
No, I realized something last at the end of after I tried. So to avoid as many spoilers as possible, I have a feature, and I did a lot of research, and then another guy came out with a video explaining it further. This one's up to DM's rulings. I can technically turn, as long as I'm a thing, I can turn into another thing with the same limb configuration. Can I turn into like one of those goats that climb stuff super easily?
Yes, I like it. I feel like that fits your character type very well.
Now, it says I technically don't gain the new features of the thing I turn into, so I am just putting that directly. Technically, I wouldn't be any better at climbing by doing this.
All right, so here's what I say, and it's gonna get weird. I'm gonna let you turn your leg scenario into like the legs of a goat, but still keep like your wolf upper scenario.
Shit, yeah.
Like a wolfy tail and like a wolfy head and like furry top and everything like that. You got like these like super weird freaking goat legs.
It's just a wolf that hops around up vertical surfaces.
Just an absolutely terrifying nightmare for anyone who lives in the mountains, I feel like. But yes, so in this scenario, I'm just going to give you advantage on your athletics check then.
Hell yeah, because like it doesn't give me a climb speed. I'm just putting that straight out there.
Yeah, we're just gonna for flavor, it gives you advantage, which you were not gonna need anyways. A 17.
I just wanted to do it.
Yeah. So now you look super weird and graceful. Like the guys see this one. This is a transformation. Everybody see. They're like they both just like had a hard time with the goats. The goats are still just kind of a problem, and they both look to you as you've run away, and they see like your legs turn into goat legs as you just like start to like very cartoon goat, just like the straight up hop up the mountainside.
Oh yeah,
all four legs hop at the same time as you like bound up the mesa side to the very top of the mesa,
and I'm snarling the whole way up.
Just like the angriest wolf, with just like the cutest little
gracefully hopping,
big horned sheep legs.
You know what? Fuck it. I have the goat horns now.
What a terrifying visage! Now it has these goat horns as well.
I'm gonna look at Lawrence and just be like, I don't look that weird anymore, do I?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to visualize this one more, but I think this might be cool.
The only thing that would make it worse is if it had like sent to more than two like pairs of legs.
Oh damn! I can't do that one. I'd have to turn into something with 6 limbs to do that.
Yeah,
terrifying. Can you give me a perception check as you crest the top of the mesa?
The majestic beast crests the top of the mesa.
Do you have?
Am I sniffing? Can I be sniffing?
Yeah. We'll say you're both looking and sniffing. You still have the muzzle and snout of a wolf. So.
Yeah. I just have goat legs and horns for mostly flavor reasons.
Do your eyes rotate like goat's eyes?
Oh no!
No, that's too much. That's where it becomes too much.
His eyes just move to the side of his head.
Oh.
That's why he has to use his.
I'll concede. Since I'm allowed to do the fun things, I will accept the derpy eyes.
They rotate in the sockets.
You just are like, as like you, at first you could control it. You're like, cool, I've got these dope legs, and then like the horns came in. You're like, I look really good, and then like more and more of the transformation becomes uncontrollable. You're like, you can't separate what part. You're like, the eyes move to the side of the head.
Just keep
The
adding new ones.
I've never tried this before. Oh!
Like,
It's generally all or nothing. But you catch a whiff of the smell strong in like a straight line, and you basically feel like as a wolf you could follow that scent at this point from where you are to wherever it might have gone to. It's really flat up here for like at this point. You can see it runs out for a while. The top of this mesa, there is like some like covered tree, like shrubbery forested areas. There's like some big cracks up here, but not a big climb anywhere else. And as you look around, you do notice that this does like really overlook a lot of the town up top here, and you can see like where all of the fence lines are, the property lines are for the ranches. You can see kind of where like the livestock is in groups within like within like the fences, the pens. So it is like a good vantage point up here, but you have a good lock on the smell and where it went. You can't see what it was that you were chasing anymore, but you could follow the scent from here fairly easily.
I'm a very good boy, but I'm trying to figure out if that means helping my comrades or pursuing the purpose of our mission. I must pursue the mission. I am good boy. I pursue the mission.
Well, you don't have a ton of movement left after getting the rest of the way up.
Yeah. But
So you are
for the rest of my turn, I pursue the mission and then yield the rest of my time.
you crest the top and you make it just out of view of of the other two, so they can't see you now. You're pretty far. You're pretty high up there, so they wouldn't be able to see like your eyes move to the side of your head. But
Nobody sees that.
But yeah, nobody sees that. You kind of move over the top of the mesa, and these two just have these two sad goats left. There's not much left. I'm gonna give you one ram attack. Actually, Mike got close with his Mike got close with his chains with disadvantage. It's laying on the ground. A 7 is not going to hit Mike. Lawrence, this goat is just laying here in front of you. You have the magic stone now. It's just laying on the ground there in front of you. It's been shocked. It's having a tough time moving. The other goat, half goat, is all the way over on the side, a little bit further away from you because Mikey just kicked it away. And it's gotten itself back up, right? But it can't really go anywhere. It's just like,
I'll just magic missile all of them to kill them. Each one.
He's ending it.
I'm ending it.
If you don't, I will.
I'm sending one magic missile to each.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought you were gonna go for the cane again.
What do you have? 3 magic missiles?
Yeah, so
No matter what, one's got 1 health, the other one's got 2 health. No matter what,
You can't.
you're gonna kill it out.
I can't
You
fuck it up.
can't not kill them. So
No matter which order you put the missiles, where
Can I just do mine at the same time then? And I pull out my pendant and we just fucking gat these things.
I'm not gonna make you use a spell slot, Mikey, because they're all gonna be dead after Lawrence's turn anyways. But yes, if you guys would like to have a moment where you guys murder the goats that took entirely too long to kill, you guys can have it. You guys can have it off of space.
Dude, like
the kind of beer.
Like Travolta and Samuel Jackson.
Blam, blam, blam,
Yeah.
blam.
Yeah. Damn goats.
They really fucked up my suit.
I know, my freaking pants. It's the whole thing is one thing. I can't just buy new pants. The whole thing's scrapped.
The pants never match the suit.
This better be expensed.
Oh,
Howl! I draw attention to my existence.
oh yeah, I guess we should go
Lawrence, give
check
me a
up
quick
on.
roll me a quick d20, just a luck check real quick.
All right, it is a 7.
A 7. The 4x4 stoat Stetson cowboy hat you've got on is mildly scuffed.
Just gives a character. That's what I told myself.
He's devastated.
So you guys heard Norman howl from up top after you have just filled these weird goats, these undead goats full of magical lead.
I'm gonna scoop
You got-
up a little bit.
You're
Put it
you're
in,
gonna
put it in a jar.
put you have jars?
No, I
Where
don't.
Where do you keep these jars in your fancy men attire?
I have a satchel. Indiana Jones had one.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm okay with that. You can have a satchel.
Immerse.
They're very trendy these days.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Especially in Europe.
we'll say my water skin is a bottle of water. Did they have bottles of water back then?
You want to put dead goat in your water skin?
Magic residue. If we don't find the source,
What are you gonna
Fine.
drink?
I'm not going to drink it. It's
How
for
aggressively
identifying.
at the source of the magic I'm currently chasing.
You're in the desert.
Well,
Aren't you gonna get thirsty?
what? Fine. You're right. You're right. Okay. Leave the goat blood and guts. I just wanted it. I just
No,
wanted a
you don't
sample. I just wanted a sample in case we lost him.
If you want to fill your canteen with guts and dead goat in the desert.
I would absolutely need a sleight of hand for you to push goat guts blood into your canteen lid.
I'm not doing it. Okay, we'll go after Eric. We'll go after Norman.
Howl!
All right, so you guys hear a very big wolf that sounds. It's like a howl. It's a weird howl goat thing.
Howl!
No.
He climbed up a mesa, right?
Yeah, he climbed up the mesa. You guys can take your time climbing up there. Mike, you can just climb up there. Actually.
Oh, I'm just gonna use free Misty Step to teleport to the top.
There you go. So Norman spent
fly.
2 turns and turned halfway into a goat to climb the top of the mesa. You misty step up to the top, and Mikey's just lands lightly next to everybody on top with his wings. Just like, oh, all right, we're up here.
I was actually gonna ask you if you could fly me up there for free, but
Oh yeah, he can just fly up there.
yeah. Can we retcon that he flew me up so I don't have to use my free Misty
Now
Step?
you can't necessarily carry another.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily carry you.
Because
All right,
So,
fine. I'll take
the
the
rules
Misty
of
Step.
flying another creature are weird because you're not. small
We don't
enough
need it. I Misty Stepped.
Are you sure? Because I could explain the entire thing to you.
Dun 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 dun. Copyrighted. So you guys get to the top of the mesa, and Norman is a large. Are you just a wolf again now, or are you still some kind of weird in between?
Oh no! I've both invented a new cryptid and come up with my new go-to wild shape.
This is how they came up with the bunyip, I feel like, which is a very strange-looking Australian cryptid.
Bunyip.
The bunyip. So Norman is still in a very strange form when you guys get up to the top, and you guys are like very close to him now. Like before, it was far away and it was like still weird. Now you guys are up close. It's fucking hella weird.
Hmm. Somehow only the second strangest thing I've seen today.
Are you still talking about me?
I mean, you're kind of weird, man.
Bow.
I was the second, even with the goats back there.
You know,
I do that thing dogs do where they point in a direction and then look back at people.
oh, he's saying Timmy. He's saying Timmy fell in a well, so we can. We
Are
can
you
wait.
torn between being able to smell things from large distances and wanting to eat them?
Someone's getting clawed.
All right,
All right.
let's follow monstrosity.
I'm a beautiful new creature.
So you guys follow Norman. He leads you over the top of the mesa. Give me a quick nature check, Norman.
I forget if I'm actually any good with nature.
I have plus
Why is it-
5. Could I
How about
help?
everybody gives me a nature check?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay at
No,
nature.
I'm too busy reading my book with the 7.
Let's hope Mikey can save you guys on nature.
12.
13.
All right. So 13 was our best score on nature. It's kind of a middling score. You notice that there is not a lot of life up here. There's not like you haven't seen much in the way of snakes, bugs. There is no birds you've seen really in the sky. It feels like this place is like almost devoid of life, especially the further away you get from town. The smell line you're following, this rotten, bloody, like dank smell that you're following is taking you further away from town, near to like the edge of the mesa, and it is taking you further away from what feels like life. Like even the plants are starting to like dry up and almost be. It's like in the desert, you don't get a ton of like lively plants, but you're not even seeing cactuses now. Really, you're not seeing like tiny shrubs with a little bit of green and needles on them. It's mostly just like dried up stuff, some tumbleweeds here and there, a dead old tree. It's it, it's got a weird vibe to it around here. The further you guys go.
Should I detect magic again?
Yeah. How many times can you do that?
I can only do it for 6 seconds once, but I can take 10 minutes to do it for free.
You guys have time. You're just like walking along the top of the mesa, following Norman. It's probably taking you guys like a nice, like solid, like 40, 45 minutes. If anybody wants to do if anybody wants to do some short rest stuff, roll hit dice if you want to.
I would love to.
I gotta double check how long I stay as a wolf for.
An hour, or actually, I don't know with the moon.
Moon Druid changes things.
Roll hit dice.
Hey, I'm back to max health.
Game statistics, blah, blah. Oh god, there's just so much text for this.
Mikey, I know as a warlock, you get your spell slots back even on a short rest, right?
Oh. Maybe.
Just your warlock.
Just warlock ones. I did you attack with
No.
spells? Leveled spells?
No.
All right, so it doesn't really affect you that
For a
much.
number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. No, I'm still a wolf.
Um,
Got 2 hours of being a wolf.
Wolfish.
yeah, and I spent 10 minutes preparing the ritual to detect magic. I'm gonna pull Winston back into the book, I think.
All right, so Winston has been just kind of like as like an invisible like spirit kind of like floating around Norman this entire time, even as like a weird wolf creature comes like flying back into your book and like just kind of settles back in. It's like, boy, what you need?
Uh, so can you tell me if he's another one? Another one of me?
Oh, he's no, nothing like I've ever seen before.
Okay. That's all you needed to say.
Truly, truly fucking weird, mate.
Just a normal human.
I'd rather
That's-
not follow him again if I don't have to.
I am not gonna eat. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about going back to follow him.
You should see the way he
You should see the way that he goes to the bathroom right now.
I'd rather not.
Fucking
Well,
horrifying.
Tell you what, you can take the rest of the night off. Float around town for a little bit, and I'll reach you again when I need you.
Before you like said the last three words, as soon as you said night off, float around town, he's like, all you heard was "fuck you." Gone.
Thanks, Winston.
So you guys have had a chance to short rest. Norman is still a wolf. Your detect magic ritual is prepared and casted, and you sense the same magic that you sensed around the goats and around the veterinary hospital in the direction you're heading, just in a much stronger sense. And now you also sense, um, like not just like a necromancy, but like a dark, like a blood magic, essentially, a magic that is just like the reason that it's such a strong smell of blood on this scent trail is definitely attuned to this magic that you feel
Yeah, it's
emanating from the area you guys are heading towards.
some sort of blood magic.
Hemomancy.
I'll alert the rest of the group. I'll tell them what you said.
And then he'll yield his time.
Arf.
I
So-
hope you understand that.
So yeah, as a dire goat, as a dire woat,
Wolf.
I'm a golf.
a goat, a golf, yeah, as a dire golf, golf, whatever. I gotta stop combining words.
Portmanteau. Portmanteau.
Such a waste of time just sitting here just combining words all night long. So as a dire goat, wolf, man, boy, you have guided you guys basically to. You guys have just come up on what appears to be a gulch, almost a gully, a dried out riverbed on top of the mesa here, probably where like a natural spring may have occurred and flowed up through the cracks, and maybe at one point sustained some variety of ecosystem on top of the mesa. It being dried out could be one of the reasons as to why you don't see much life up here. And as you look around, you notice that there's almost what appears to be like like an impromptu structure kind of built into the basin of where this spring probably once came from into this gully. There's what appears to be just a ton of spiky plants that have been, looks like, gathered from the area and thrown over top to make a roof between the high points of land over top of this impression, so that there's an entire covering of spiny, thorny brush, very similar to, like, if you'd seen like somebody make a hut, or like a survival shelter out of that there's like acacia bushes or whatever they're called in Africa, the ones with like the really like skinned, long spines. So it's a covering of that on top, and you can see a slight light emanating from inside of it. It is starting to get a little bit darker in the evening now. As you guys are on top of the mesa, the sun is starting to set further out, getting behind a few rocks as you go here, really kind of darkening up the area. So you can see a glow emanating from there's a couple like entryways. It looks like almost like they're not quite tunnels, like cave entrances almost, because of the way this is kind of built into the ground. Burrows, essentially. Yeah, burrows would be a good word for it. You see some light emanating from there. Your detect magic is just going nuts. There is just very dark, evil magic coming from this place. As a dire goat's wolf,
Yeah.
you're like, you are almost like burying your nose in the ground of how strong this smell is here. You're kind of like almost like whimpering a little bit. You're like it's gross at this point.
I think I'm gonna turn back into a humanoid and then cast Pass Without Trace on the group.
All right, so you guys are outside of this.
What does it look like when Norman casts Pass Without Trace?
So I just like do what looks like a really ancient ritual. Not like a ritual with like 10 minutes of shenanigery, but like, hand signs and like maneuvers around, and like I draw little arcane sigils in the air, and it's all like a faintly green glow because it's all natural energy from nature. And all of a sudden you notice your footsteps become quiet. You're not giving off an odor anymore. Well, you probably would notice that because all you can smell is fucking the blood orgy or whatever's below us.
Fucking blood orgy. That's such a nice way of describing it. In my mind, as soon as you cast it, you guys all just had like ghillie suits pop onto you out of nowhere. Just like desert ghillie suits. Like,
I just assumed we entered the crouch position.
I like that only slightly better than what I said.
But
I like Brian's, where we're all just magically wearing ghillie suits now.
You're just standing there, just like there's like a snap and like a poof cloud of smoke, and all of a sudden you guys are all just standing there in ghillie suits.
We can't be tracked except for by magical means. So like you can't find our footprints and smell us. Like if you see us, you see us, but we also have +10 to our stealth rolls.
I also like the idea of like you guys haven't been able to crouch this entire time, and then all of a sudden you cast you cast Pass Without Trace. You're like, wait, watch this. Oh man, look at this! I can crouch.
Dude, I can even tell when people can see us. There's this little eye that opens up above my crosshair.
So you guys are outside of what appears to be the source of all evil, on top of the mesa. You've got your ghillie suits on. You can crouch now. All the nicer and more poetic things that Eric and Norman said.
We don't smell anymore.
You guys don't smell anymore.
Yeah, the most important takeaway from what I said is we don't smell, and +10 to stealth checks.
+10 to stealth checks. Stealth checks don't
Smell check.
I said stealth checks, like smell check.
Smelleth thee? I smelleth thee.
I smelleth thee. Yes. So, how would you three like to proceed? There is a bunch of burrows into this place, you could rally back and go back to town if you'd like to, and come back here. You could try to finish the job right now, go in guns blazing, try to go in stealthy in your ghillies. As of right now, you don't feel like anything knows you're here. It doesn't appear to have noticed it's been tracked.
Hmm.
I mean, you guys know I want to kick a door in and bust some faces open.
And we might as well take advantage of our nice gillies. And
Non-lethally.
Well, at least take a look around, find evidence. Maybe this is the place. Obviously, there's some magic around here, but we don't know what it is.
I mean, you know, it's dark blood and necromancy magic.
Yeah, so we could assume anything we find inside is hostile.
I mean,
But
what
we'll
if it's a good? What if it's a good necromancer?
but maybe we could. We try to contain first, and then we destroy if we need to.
Mm.
Contain first and then destroy if not. But it can't just run around killing goats and exposing the natural world to people. The supernatural world, I should say.
Those poor goats. Did you? I can hear their screams in my mind.
You have some sort of psychic connection to them?
Yes.
I don't need to.
Would that be the weirdest thing you've heard about Mikey? I don't think so. So, do you guys want to go for a stealth approach?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
stealth approach.
All right, give me some stealth rolls then.
Oh shit! I thought
With plus 10.
Do.
With plus 10, I got a 22.
Hang on. Can't see anything. There it is. 17.
With
Plus 10.
that's a 27.
Jesus.
and I got an 18, so I got a 28.
All right, you guys are all plus 20. You guys are able to, with your ghillie suits, sneak in through two of the burrows. Mikey kind of going through one of the bigger burrows because he's a little bit of a wider frame. Lawrence and Norman crawling through another burrow. You are able to scoot all the way into this lair, this
Lair.
lair's the best word for it.
It has lair actions.
It's a lair. It's like, you know, if a kid built it and it wasn't like full of blood, it might be a fort. But like right now, it's a lair. You know, like it's not quite a tree fort. It's kind of built into the ground, but it's got fort-like vibes to it. But it's also got, like, as you look around, there is just walls of spikes and goats and chickens and rabbits. All are like stuck onto the walls, and they're essentially all just kind of dripping dry all the blood out of these small livestock into buckets underneath of them. And as you turn and look around, two of the walls, essentially where you came in at, are, and it's all kind of rounded out. Two of the walls are covered in spikes and animal corpses, all in like varying levels of dying, dead, dripping, and all these buckets in varying levels of full, filling, and empty. You see further up along the walls, past where all of the livestock is a bunch of shelves essentially that have been built into the walls, and those are just covered in jars. And all these jars are full of blood. They've all been closed. They have tape and paper essentially on them and scribbles on them in chicken scratch that you're too far away to read. and in the center, furthest point, in the center of the wall, furthest point away from you guys across a rounded room, there is what appears to be a crudely built altar with a dais on top that's basically big enough for small, like, bigger goats, but nothing all that large to be placed upon for a sacrifice. Um, and everything seems to be kind of like centered and pointed to this altar, and huddled in front of this altar, working over top of what appears to be just a another goat laying on the altar is a huddled shape. It probably stands about 4 to 5 feet tall. It's covered in almost like a black, scaly, mottled skin. Some of it appears to be scaly, some of it appears to be spiny at parts, some of it might even be like hairy, in certain like patches around the elbows where the sun hasn't dried out everything. There's like still some hair left there. Uh, Down the spine runs a series of like longer quills that kind of come out the back of it and form, I mean, what some might describe as like a mohawk, almost kind of running down its back, like an extended dorsal fin kind of scenario. But it's all made of like porcupinish quills. It has reptilian esque claws. It's standing bipedal, crouched and facing away from you, but you can see its hands and its feet as it moves around and does its work. And it definitely feels like it has like reptilian esque claws to it, but they're just it's just so like scaly and mottled from being stuck out in the sun. It's tough to tell what anything is. It's all been so sunburnt to a crisp and just kind of worn down by the weather. And
I pull out my gun and shoot it.
Nice. Do you even
Roll
actually have a gun?
It's my firebolt.
you have a gun, roll initiative, and we'll play this next week.
I was actually going to talk to it in its mind, or try languages, but that's okay. Shoot it as well.
We'll roll initiative, and the next week we'll resolve this.
God.
Maybe you go first, Lawrence, and you could shoot it. Maybe somebody else goes first. They could do something different.
I'll tell you who goes last again. Again, a 3. And a fucking natural 1.
This is what I get
Wonder, baby.
for expositioning before having initiatives rolled. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Hold on. Like, just going straight for the kills.
Go straight for the go. You guys are supposed to. Like, I mean, it's a very evil setup in here. I can't blame him for being like, oh, this is something I probably have to just murder.
The cuter it appears, the more evil it is.
It probably won't kill it.
Cute. That sounded cute to you.
But catch all this.
Was it the mottled part, or was it the spines and quills?
No, it's it's a freaky thing out in the middle of the desert. We stop freaky things.
It's a freaky thing in a blood
I know,
den.
but I could also talk it. I was good. So first,
What are you gonna save it? We're gonna save it?
Yeah, dude. Maybe it could be like our secretary. Our fucking leader is a plesiosaur. Maybe
makes
it
a
could
solid
be like the coffee guy. Maybe the
Hey, maybe I'll miss. And we'll just get his attention.
maybe he'll turn around and go,
No,
"Hey,
warn
what the hell?" Maybe he's a pretty nice guy and he's misunderstood, and that's why he's eating the goats, because he doesn't want to eat people. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, come on now.
Racist. Fuck. Fuck.
Uh,
Fuck.
Lawrence has to sit down. Lawrence has to sit down after that.
You got some stuff going. You got a real prejudice towards Mikey, and anything that looks kind of weird. You shot first, ask questions later.
I find that distasteful and detestable.
Is that the sheriff speaking?
Yes.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys. This has been another good episode, and we'll catch everybody next week with the conclusion of the fight here in Texas. It seems.
Hey,
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Devils.